All right, guys. So we were just studying this Andrew system and how it works and how complicated it can be, and we learned one of the things that I wish I would have learned in the beginning of the video, so I could have told you guys this was you need to be in the advanced user interface in order to configure the simple user interface. Um, and I must have accidentally did that the other day when I was playing around with it, but if you get you want the different type of ramping and stuff like that, you know, if you don't want stepped ramping or you want smooth ramping, then you might need to get into here to do that. But other than that basic stuff, like literally 4 clicks will lock the thing out. 2 clicks from on will basically put it in turbo mode, and I guess once let's see, you just ramp it down all the way and you're kind of in a moonlight type of mode anyway. So this thing's really simple in that user interface. Um, but is this a good, everyday carry kind of flashlight? Specifically, like what we're looking for is a light that is very useful, that you want to take with you and can perform, more than one kind of function easily. And I would say that having this interface on a light would definitely solve quite a few problems with other lights that would otherwise be great to carry with you. Most lights on Amazon, cheap lights, have an annoying interface where either you end up having to do like with this one here. This is a Walmart Rayovac. It's actually really pretty bright. I don't remember what they rated it at. I think I have the packaging actually. Let me take a look real quick. I'm almost positive I have the packaging for it. And the reason is because I actually really don't plan on keeping this thing, and I need to return it. It says 320 lumen, okay? And I believe that to probably be true. I think that's very realistic for this light. It says it's 130 on low and 320 on high. Unfortunately, it does the nasty strobe crap. So with a light like this, it'd be really great is if there was some kind of way to override the strobe and just get rid of it. Or, so like this one here, you turn it on. It's on 320 lumen. It's actually pretty good. It's, you got a pretty bright hot spot. Anyway, we put it on low. But if we want to turn it off, we've got to go through everything. So every time that you turn this thing on, you have to go through the strobe to do it. Can you imagine if I was working in a shop, working on cars, and every time I turned my light off, I had to do that? Eventually, some of the guys at the shop would probably get pissed off at me. So, also, that's kind of annoying. Let's just say, like, I was in a thrift store looking at something, and I wanted to pull out my flashlight, my everyday carry flashlight, and I wanted like, okay, let's look at this Yaesu here and see, whoa, is there scratches on it? Oh, yeah, we can see them right there. Okay, well, now I need to turn this thing off. Oh, I got to do that to turn it off. That's absolutely annoying. Okay, and then we have these kind, like this one, and this is actually a decent light, and it's zoomable and everything like that. So we say we're over here. We want to take a look at this radio, move whatever. We're gonna zoom in. Oh, it's kind of square. It's ugly. All right. Anyway, so we want to turn it off. We have two choices. We can hold it for what seems like an eternity, or we go through every single damn stupid thing, including the SOS, to turn it off. So these type of interfaces are really obnoxious. Now we get some kind of lights like this one, where it's actually, well, the rubber thing on the back won't stay on there. The light itself is extremely bright, and we can pinpoint focus it, and after it's been on for a couple of seconds, if we push the button, it will just simply turn off, and that's great. Okay, so But this flashlight doesn't have any kind of clip on it. It's a little bit large. It's an 18650. It's a little large to carry around in your pocket. But it's not bad. You know, it's not too bad. But in comparison, you can see it's much larger around, etc., etc. Which I don't mind one bit, actually. And see, you know, there's another thing. You can only get so much light out of a 1-inch opening. So, I've known that from the gate, so really, I don't want small opening flashlights. I think even this one has a larger opening. Anyway, that's not the point here. So the point is that none of these flashlights would make a good daily carry type of flashlight. Then there's another kind, like this one, and this is actually the one I do carry around. And this has 2 buttons on it. And it doesn't turn off after it's been on for a second. You got to go 1 and 2 and 3. So, and then you have the other crap on here if you want to access it quickly. So, that's really a great idea. It's a step in the right direction. And honestly, like, this is okay. So I'm in a store and I'm looking at this radio. I'm inspecting it for scratches. I just turn my light off. So that's not too bad. And this is really a step in the direction of the right size. Because this is too small. But this is perfect. And it's zoomable. This is not zoomable. And it just kind of, like, if you were to, like, be using this to look at this radio, so it's literally like blinding, basically, flooding all over the place, and heating up like hell. And it's not very, you know, focused at all. So that's why I kind of don't care for that flashlight. Now, if I was stuck on the side of the road and I had that flashlight with me, I could crank it down pretty low and, you know, figure out whatever it is I needed to fix. But it's a little too small. I've already noticed that some of the finish is kind of starting to expose itself right there, just from handling it a little bit. Right here. And also the other problem with this particular light is that this thing is so narrow here. We pull on this, you can see this is turning white. It's getting ready to rip off. It won't go any further. If you pull it out and you're able to rotate it like this, you're not really putting any strain on it. It's also really in a bad spot. They needed to change how they machined the flashlight, and they could have done a better job with this thing. So, all in all, I mean, I think it's an okay light, but you definitely want to get it off of Workhouse's website for $19 and not Amazon for $43 with a $35 coupon, or excuse me, 35% coupon. But, you know, the main thing, like, that I'm looking at here is like, well, okay, how many different lights, you know, can we buy? I mean, I've found some really, really cheap ones, and they all have kind of a nice little purpose to them. Like this one here, it focuses really, really into a nice round thing, and it uses a 26650, which is, you know, potential to be a much better battery as far as capacity. This one's almost the same, but it's got that ugly square focus, but it was $7. I can actually put a link to this one if you guys are interested. And you could put this in your pocket, but it's really, like, really too big for just throwing in your pocket. This one here, of course, is awesome, and I bought the last one, I think, or the last one or two of them, and I can't find anything close to it anywhere whatsoever. It has a very small, round LED, and it's absolutely awesome. It's got the display on it. We can get this really huge, bright. It does have chromatic abrasion, but And then we can zoom it down into this tiny, super high focused beam. It's just like absolutely awesome. And then one click and it's off. Like, that is my favorite light, and I can't help you guys get it because, well, they don't seem to have it. There might be some other lights that kind of look like it, but I haven't found any that look like this one, where it has the digital display with the metal trim around the metal button. I've seen ones where the digital display and a rubber button. It has all the regular functions, but if you leave it on for a second, yeah, it shuts itself off on the next press. The only thing I don't like about it is this thing just doesn't want to stay. And it's a little thin on this metal here compared to some of the other ones. But what a deal for like $7. But they're gone. They don't have them no more. So, basically, I would love to have this interface on any of these other flashlights. You know, like especially one like this. I've got some lights coming tomorrow, and I think they're about the size of this, but with a magnet, and they have ramping. And I'm hoping that they might actually be made by Sofrin or Workhos, and because that company makes flashlights for other places. And what I'm hoping is that they're in that size and form factor, and they possibly might even be using the 21700 battery. So they'll have to be longer. But that's what I want for a daily carry flashlight, is not the Workhos, but this WTD Pro, or WDT Pro size, or a little bit bigger. Anything a little bit bigger than this would be great. I don't know what all flashlights fit that format. I'm going to guess this is the size of most of the Convoys, probably. So, and then the other thing is, like, well, there's a lot of great flashlights on the Convoy website, but they don't have USB charging. So I don't know if that's really important or not. I think it is, but I guess if you're just gonna carry it around with you and it's fully charged, you'd probably be good to go, you know. But if it's something that you want to put and leave in a vehicle, you know, that you're not going to carry around you definitely want a USB on it. So those are just kind of my thoughts on an everyday carry flashlight and crappy user interfaces.